How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the Q&A. Today we're joined with Mod Matt K.
Hello.
Mod
Sween.
Sween.
Hello.
I'm this close to saying the wrong name. Mod Wolf.
Swoon.
Hello.
Actually, we were just talking about this.
Hello.
Myself, Mod Archie, and we've got Mod Maz over there on a gaming PC, ready to show off some exciting Fossil Island underwater content. But before we get anywhere, we've also got Mod Tom H grabbing questions from the chat. Okay. He gave me one of these.
I haven't said about Ronan either.
Hang on, Twitch chat, give him back one of those. That's an emote, isn't it? What is that?
Oh, what? Rare
Where
Woots?
your hands go up, you're like,
Shrug.
yeah, it's in there. Anyways,
You haven't mentioned Ronan here either.
don't need to.
They've seen one.
Ronan's here making it all work.
Mod Tom H is grabbing questions from the chat. Go ahead and at RuneScape if you have any questions. And before we get into the Q&A, something we have to do, I think, we have to list individually everybody who voted no to make all. Right? We agreed on doing.
Yeah.
You got the list?
So I have the list on my phone.
I'm expecting like a big scroll. But
Yeah, I should have a big scroll. Right,
There's
this
not
is
that many
everybody
people.
in-game accounts that voted no. Hang on. To
Dog abuse
make
monitor.
all. Okay, that's interesting. First one's Chris Archie.
oh,
What?
oh,
I didn't do it,
And then
Ash.
we got Chris Archie Pure.
That's not my account.
Weeks of work if you.
hi Kelly.
No, we don't really have a list of accounts to do that with.
All right.
Well,
Getting
we
into
could
the
if we really
questions
wanted
then.
to.
Yeah, we could. It'd be awesome.
We do start with a silly question this week. Can we get an option to buy a 25k to 100k golden rotten tomato near the Grand Exchange that we can throw at beggars? This would be a good money sink and as well be entertaining.
A golden rotten tomato.
Well, tomato, but
Golden
yeah,
tomato, maybe?
tomato.
Rotten golden. Yeah.
It would have to notify the noob that
So-
they just spent 125k to.
Just to throw it.
There were
yeah.
follow-up ideas that if you hit this noob with it, it would splash around money everywhere. But everybody but the beggar could pick it up.
Oh,
I like that one. That sounds a bit more interesting.
Drop everything.
Or the beggar picks it up, and as they go to take coins, it
it
disappears.
disappears.
Would
I like
you?
it.
No,
I like
mean,
it.
On a serious note, would you have the issue that you have two accounts who are begging, so they could pick up each other's? So would you
Oh,
double
yeah,
the
you
amount
get-
of beggars out there?
The thing is, if you throw a solid gold lump of tomato shape at somebody, it should do serious damage, and that might also please the people who want to do
Yes.
this.
So effectively, PvP anyway, using golden
Tomatoes.
tomatoes. I'm up for that.
You know how you can make rotten tomatoes in a compost bin? It's
Yeah.
one of the least used aspects of farming that most people don't even know is there. But
Wait,
if you
can
fill
you?
a compost bin with tomatoes and nothing but tomatoes, you get rotten tomatoes.
Oh,
So you don't have to pay one gold piece to that dude Fadley at the jewel arena.
why doesn't it turn into compost? That's so weird.
Because the developer wished to let you make free rotten tomatoes using.
Okay.
Oh, people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it would then be a free source of tomatoes rather than a shot from that guy. I don't know. Anyway, so if you put the compost bin full of money instead, you can get the golden rotten tomato.
I like that.
I wonder how much money you could fit into one of those compost bins.
Probably a nice chunk.
Yeah, good
Have
few
a high,
million.
if we have a high score of how much money people put in it,
Yes.
Moving on. I see him moving on in the
moving
chat,
on.
Chris.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
probably for the best.
See ya.
This was almost happened. Number two, I don't know if we actually have an image with this. We can kind of paint a picture for the audience. Through says, can you add a dedicated female Slayer helm model? The current one is comically oversized. People are replying to this one saying, I disagree, make it even bigger.
everyone likes a bobblehead.
It does look like a bobblehead. It's a little bit bigger than it should be, I think. Don't know if we do have that image, but literally if you...
Do you remember
you've
the
probably
old
seen one
football
in
figures,
games.
the power pods? That's when I first saw
I
that.
remember those. Yeah, you click them and they shoot a little ball. I remember that.
That's when I first saw that.
Oh, they can see it? There you go.
Unfortunately, you guys can't.
I mean,
That's all right.
Okay.
we could do that if we have the graphics time.
Make it bigger?
It's no. Yes, we can make it bigger or smaller, whatever the one.
Maybe make it bigger width-wise and smaller height-wise.
Yeah, we'll. Oh, I'm gonna, yeah.
Can we toggle it? It's like start toggling it open at normal sizes, like an extra large.
Oh, we have like.
I'm sure we could fix that.
Yeah.
We have a
Sounds more
female
like
in the
graphical
room.
bug than anything. doesn't
Mod
it?
Maz,
How
what do you
big are
think?
women's
Mad.
heads? We don't know.
Same size as men's heads.
Are they?
Ah.
I don't know where I was going with that, but I retract whatever implication that could have suggested.
Next question.
Yes.
Boom says, new super variants for monsters that don't really have any boss variants in the game. So things like fire giants, Ankus, metal dragons. Superior metal dragon sounds awesome.
I mean, we kind of stuck with the ones that have Slayer requirements so that when Superior Slayer was happening, but there's no rule saying we have to. So I think it'd be rather fun. For what it's worth, digressing a little, the history of asking Maz, how big women's heads are.
Oh, don't explain this story to them.
Oh, is it not suitable for public consumption?
Oh, actually, go on. It's fine. I don't think Matt knows which one. Do you know this one is? This one
I
is?
must have told him. He's worked with me for
Yeah.
long.
Okay. It's a good story. Actually, go on.
So back in would have been 05-ish, 06-ish, there was a lot of human kit being redesigned by the artists at the time, and
Yeah, I do remember this one.
Oh yeah. That's a
some
good
of
one.
the new armour designs they had were a little bit more, well, stylised than
Voluptuous.
the ones that we had before. And, some of them were very stylised in the way that so many computer games have become these days, apart from this one. And the heads of QA and graphics were having an actual argument about if a woman wore that piece of armour, that rune plate body that you've designed here, surely her nipples would be showing. It's so low cut. And the artist was explaining, no, I've been on this anatomy drawing course, see, and I know about drawing women. The nipples will be on a construction line that would intersect this and this, and if you do a 45-degree angle from here and here, and when the things meet, that's the height they would be. And the head of QA was seriously having to convince this guy, no, that's not where they are on women. And explaining, well, look, I got a kid somewhere along the line. I found out where they are, but the artist was sure he'd been on this course. It can't have been a life drawing course. I don't know. Anyway, he didn't work there anymore.
An alien drawing course.
So,
How
Maz
far off
and
was
one
he?
of our I'd say there was a couple of inches in it.
Okay. All right.
They usually are. Anyway, so Maz and another colleague got called over to arbitrate on this, to explain to us, see this picture? If a woman wore that plate armour, would you be able to see her nipples? Because he says yes, and he says no. And they did possibly the best thing they could have done, which is to just turn their backs on the lot of us and walk off. Anyway, moving on.
I don't want to move on.
So
There's more to this.
I'm sure I don't have to draw you a picture.
it was a yes to the original question, though. I think it was.
What was the question?
The question was about changing the shape of the women's heads or something.
I meant the
Oh, you
superior
got a great
monsters.
answer.
We didn't really.
I meant the superior.
We didn't really get to the end of that one, but okay.
Right. Here we go. There's another one. Git says, allow players to imbue their black mask via the Slayer points as an alternative to doing with the Nightmare Zone. The content makes no sense being locked behind Nightmare Zone.
Just seems sensible, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, I don't normally like taking a unique reward from one place and making it available in other places. On the other hand, in the circumstances for that place, do it.
Yeah.
I think so.
Agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Allow us to use the decanter in the Gren Exchange to decant our potions into any dose we want, not just 4 doses. Sometimes it's ideal to have 1 dose potions on you, and you would need extra money on you to pay for the extra vials.
Would you like to explain this one?
Well, the answer is we can certainly do it because I did it before for the other lot.
We answered this one before, haven't we?
Yes, we
Yeah.
just didn't then do
We've
it.
answered every question that has ever existed in the world
That's
of
true.
RuneScape.
Every question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've asked it.
Actually, I saw one question in the chat which I haven't seen for a while. Is that an old school cushion?
It
Yes,
is.
it is.
It is an old school cushion.
It's an old school T-shirt. wrapped around
Yeah,
the
it's
cushion.
actually a T-shirt wrapped around an RS.
So it's
an
not
RS
just wrapped around. It's
pillow
a T-shirt that's been
because-
repurposed into a cushion cover.
Yeah,
By Maz, because he's very good at
Maz
that
made
sort
it.
of thing.
There you go. What do you think? Thanks, Maz.
You're welcome.
Let's see, that's a good challenge, yeah. Let's see if we can get one question from the chat that has never been asked before.
Oh,
that
dear
is
God.
appropriate for
Yes,
the live stream.
appropriate.
Well, that cuts it down. a
Game
bit.
content related question, I think.
Just at RuneScape. Actually, let's start to grab some of these from the chat. So, F250 says, any possibility to increase the chance of obtaining the Phoenix pet post 99 fire making?
So, is it a skill pet?
No.
The voice says no.
Do other pets? They don't have increased chances past 99 as well, do they?
We do it at 200 million XP, I think.
Oh, okay.
Those poor people.
I mean,
I would not have it different to any other pet that we've got in game.
I wouldn't
in that
as
regard,
well.
because that just seems odd.
Well, that's the thing. All the other skill pets, we do give an increased chance when you get 200 million XP. The Phoenix, you don't, because we didn't treat it as a skill pet, because we thought one day there might actually be a skill pet that comes from lighting logs. And then we found players weren't into buyable pets so much, so we never went there.
Of all the buyables, it is without a doubt the most buyable and easy and just like it would be ridiculous.
Smithing would be up there with it, but yeah.
And crafting. And herblar.
I always
And
just
prayer.
feel like fire making is the easiest and cheapest. Maybe not cheapest. I don't know.
Oh.
Anyways, the baser says add a sound effect when a fishing spot is depleted, not an area sound, just a sound effect.
We could do that
Yes, you just find all the players nearby and play a direct sound on them.
if people wanted it. I mean, I know why people would want it.
There is one for woodcutting, isn't there?
Yeah.
Something like
What
that.
sort
Yeah.
of sound would it be?
Glub, 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 glub. Sorry.
Ash's tea slurping sound,
Done.
because that's what's
No,
making
he had like a
them.
weird burp. It was like a burp, but it wasn't a burp. It was kind of like a.
Me or the fishing spot?
Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought you were on about what the noises that the chat was reacting to, and it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Glub, glub,
We
glub,
could
glub,
do one.
seems one.
We could do one. I actually quite like one because it.
You've got a Dr. Pepper, Matt.
I have got Dr. Pepper. I've got a new sponsor this week.
You've got a drink.
Yeah, I'm going to pass.
The thing about it is, it's misunderstood.
What's Dr Pepper's slogan again?
I think it's a Dr. Pepper so misunderstood, I think.
The worst that could happen, wasn't
Was
it?
it?
It's, oh yeah. What's the worst that could
Oh
happen?
yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Oh god, we can go some mileage on that.
Yeah. Oh.
What's one that's so misunderstood? I thought that was Dr. Pepper. As
I
well.
don't think. It's...
They've tried that as well
they?
at different
Okay.
times.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. All right.
So yeah, so what's the worst that could happen? Pepper. New sponsor.
So yes, we would be able to add a sound effect when a fishing spot is depleted, not via the area sounds. I think the thing with trees is that it plays a sound to the person who made it fall and not to the rest, unless it's been changed to use area sounds as well, because a lot of things were in about 06.
I thought it was vice versa. I thought,
You
could
could
hear-
everyone except the person who dropped it down.
yeah, I thought you could hear everybody's around you, but you weren't able to just single out yours. That might not be the case. I thought that was. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, we can do it.
Chris, say it. Moving on.
For what it's worth, there's an engine change that was made in like
moving
08ish where sounds that were associated with your animations, but your own animations were moved to be on the direct sound control rather than on the ambient sound control. That's not one we have, but I bet it's not that big a job for the engine team. I mean, I say I bet, I don't have the faintest blinking idea. It could turn out to be weeks of work for this. I don't know. Either way, if they weren't doing anything else, they could maybe be doing that.
Can we see an update to change the color of a super composted farming patch to differ from a normal one?
It does change now, I think, but it's very, very, very faint. It's like a slightly darker brown,
Patch doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
doesn't it? Doesn't it at
No.
all?
No.
Am I thinking of the compost bin? Yes.
Yes.
So you're thinking of the. Oh yes, you're thinking of the compost bin
Yeah.
and the buckets of compost.
Oh, okay. Actually, that's a lot harder to do than what I thought. Then I think.
Yeah, because there's the variation of a farming patch depends on the crop it's got in it. The compost state is orthogonal to the kind of crop it's got in it, and we can only control its appearance on one thing at a time. We might be able to have a separate invisible thing, a thing that's invisible most of the time. This is kind of tinting polygons sitting in the middle of it
Yeah.
as well. But you're asking for render order problems there because there's already ground decor in that.
How
I'm
necessary is
not
it?
optimistic.
How many people are mixed and matching compost and super compost? Surely if it's composted, then you know it's super composted or it's normal composted.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I'm not sure why the player wanted that, but
Yeah, fair enough.
we'd find it rather difficult.
Yeah. Sorry.
This question was asked last week. Next one, can a hammer spawn be added to the blast furnace near where the parts break? That's an awfully
only it
convenient
was a
spawn
bank.
for a hammer.
Like, if only there was a bank right near that area.
Yeah, seriously, if we perhaps said that you could just punch it with your fist to repair it,
Give it a kick.
then
Let's break
people
that
would
wall
find it
for
less
it.
frustrating that it breaks in the first place.
I'd be
Can it
fine with doing
damage
that,
you?
truthfully.
Like a taste vengeance.
Yeah, I like the idea of kicking it to fix it.
Headbutt. I can't
But
remember how high. it is
stubbing
off
your
the
toe
ground.
hurts, surely.
Sorry?
Nothing. You
Yeah,
get
so
replay.
that's why you kick it, I suppose.
But you have to wear boots. You have to wear heavy boots.
Apparently, there's also a crate that has the hammer in it.
Apparently, there's a big box of hammers.
How convenient of that crate.
That's nice.
In the meantime, though, I can see why they may not want to have to free up the inventory space to hold a hammer for
Yeah.
that one little moment.
No, absolutely, yeah.
Last one from the chat for a bit here. Can we have a 5k Chompy Bird that gives +2 and +3 or +3 range bonus? It's fiery and you can combine it with Jubbly Pet or Chompy Pet. You'd have the pet on your head, looks like it's cooking. What?
What? What is that question?
Did you read that one?
So, when you kill your 5,000th
To be
chompy
fair,
bird,
we've never been asked that question before.
No.
There we go. I'm done.
I think I saw on Reddit actually somebody begging for his chompy question to be asked. This might be the guy.
Can we have a 5k Chompy Bird hat?
So you kill
Gives-
5k chompies,
Yes,
then
I
you
get
get the
the
hat.
bit.
But also, the hat's on fire.
Okay.
And then if you have a jubbly pet or a chompy pet, you can put the jubbly or chompy on top of your head, so it looks like it's burning. I think that's what the vote was.
I
Yes,
got
I
it.
said.
Thank you. Okay.
So the answer is no particles.
Yeah.
Among so many other things that might be said and are being said.
I needed that translated by somebody. That was actually pretty. That was bad.
I like
Blazing
how it gives
that
a range
420.
bonus.
Right.
2 or 3?
It was.
It's suggested. Yeah.
Moving on. Update the target arrow in Bounty Hunter to point to your target no matter how far away you are. Now that we have an engine guide, this should be possible.
Huh. Well, the game isn't actually transmitting information to your client about people more than 15 tiles away from you, and we are quite keen to keep it that way because otherwise that would be really quite a substantial improvement for people trying to find where anyone is. However, what we did in Clan Wars was just say if the arrows are in that pointing at someone who's in that direction, the game does know that and can say point the arrow northwest, point the arrow northeast, and guide you in the general direction of them. That's how we did it for the King of the Hill thing. Now, we would have to take into account that there's underground bits in the wilderness. I know they're not the most popular bits of the wilderness, but we would be expected to handle them, and it would not work very well if they were on a different level. Plus, doesn't have to be a sticking point.
Okay. Make Verion, Vishan Verion.
I think
call it
the apostrophe
Vetian.
means it should be Vetian, because then you can have the Petian jokes. On the other hand, if you take out the apostrophe, I like calling it Vishan, because it really annoyed the colleague of ours who designed it.
That boss. Make it weak to Crumble Undead spell, and make it do extra damage to him and his skeletal hellhounds. He's undead, so it's logical. This would mean you'd actually have to risk something to kill him in the most efficient manner.
What's the current Crumble Undead max hit? I don't know. I think it
Not
sounds
great.
like
It's pretty low. I think it's
you'd
like
be-
18 or something.
You'd be giving it a hell of a buff to make it
it's high
viable.
for its level.
Yeah.
It's not high by the standards of anyone who's going near that thing.
No, sure. I understand players' logic, but
60%.
considering level and
That's
the power
bad.
of the spell,
We'd have to really buff that.
Yeah.
Like double.
They only want it buffed on hit.
To do something similar to what we did with Slayer Dart and provide some item which buffs how effective it is everywhere.
amplifies it, sure. Yeah, perhaps.
Are they asking for it to only work on that one boss, though? Because we could make it hit as much as they like on that one boss without
Yeah.
it affecting anything else.
That's the question, but yeah.
It made it sound like you had to hit it with Crumble Undead as well. And there wasn't an
Well, if it's the
alternative.
most efficient way, you basically have to use it.
Yeah, it's true.
There's no other way.
On this topic, how open would players be to Vetian or Vishan being shoved down a hole so that he's not so much of a safe spot thing?
I'd like to see the reactions to that.
I think
Yeah.
they'd rather he had a rework because he's just too difficult to kill unless you
Well,
safe
that's the
spot.
thing. If we were reworking him and meant that safe spotting wasn't the meta anymore and put him in a cave so we could make there would not be safe spots and also redesigned everything else he does so that he's got some design thought gone into him, which would be a change, then we could end up with perhaps a boss that isn't all about safe spotting something that you can't go near otherwise.
So in the chat, it looks really mixed. Lots of
I've seen
yes,
people
lots of
saying
no's, lots
yes
of reworks.
if rework, yeah.
Properly split.
I think
Straw poll?
Are we?
Verion. So currently he is like super powerful and you kind of have to safe spot him to kill him. Should we rework him to maybe make him more, I don't want to use the word easy, but
one that you fight without safe spotting,
yeah. And it'd be in an instance underground.
a cave underground.
Not instance?
It could be if they want it to be, although frankly having it in a cave is important, a bit like Scorpia. We could offer to instance the cave separately if they get that way inclined.
Yeah. Good luck finding options for a straw poll for that, but you'll get to vote shortly. Next question. Reintroduce prayer renewal potions, perhaps via a new herb secondary introduced via. Keep on saying I'm mixing up via and via. Anyways, Fossil Island. So prayer renewals are great to both PvP and PvM, and a great addition to the herb lore skill. They provide a better benefit than prayer pot, but at the cost of being over time. This is well balanced. His wording. Or her.
So they're essentially in raids already with revitalization. There is essentially what they are. Ooh. I don't know if people would want. I don't. I kind of want to see the chat's reaction as well whether or not they want it.
That's tricky at the moment.
Yeah. We can't see the chat right now. Fossil Island isn't planning on introducing that. We're planning on introducing Ultra Uber Maz.
Ultra, surely.
Ultra compost kind of stuff there, but
Uber compost would be a kind of car rental thing.
So prayer renewals is just kind of I think it's a no. I think it's just a flat out no, especially with content like the Inferno. I mean, it would change everything in the game and going forward. I think we're in a good spot right now without it.
yeah.
King Kong says, can the Abyssal Dagger special attack get a buff? It has been pulled for its special attack to be reduced to 25% and was 0.3% away from passing. Even the Dragon Dagger special attack is more capable of hitting a higher max, and it, of course, gets 4 special attacks, much cheaper.
I think is it worthwhile considering doing another near miss poll? We had much over the last. We haven't done. I couldn't have done one for the last year.
It has been a while.
18 months. So that might be worthwhile looking at that.
Although possibly if there might be better buffs we could do to that thing, because what we were offering wasn't all that exciting.
But
Interesting.
Part of the appeal from the dagger does come from the fact that it's generally a better weapon. We didn't introduce it as a spec web. We introduced it as a better dagger to use when you're killing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the straw poll went up. Should we rework Vedion to be in a new cave and not able to be safe spotted? 82% saying yes.
Impressive.
Some support there.
That's a lot more than I thought it was going to be.
Okay, good to know. Peak says, can we get safe player versus player worlds?
What?
Safe player versus player worlds. Is that Clan Wars?
I think it means that you can fight people anywhere, but you keep your stuff when you die. That would be... Well...
Oh, right, this came up before. Yeah, so you can still go about your own stuff if you want to go bossing, skilling, etc. But if you see a guy next to you that's crashing you or you just don't like him, you can kill him.
And then nothing happens to him other than he respawns elsewhere.
You make him like wait 20 seconds to run back to that spot.
Okay.
It could be fun. Might be worthwhile doing it as a test on maybe one of the tournament server things. See how that works.
That's going to be instance, which means they're not going to get experience, which means they're not going to do it.
That's true.
You guys care about your efficiency.
Yeah.
If we consider how long it takes to kill somebody and how long it would take them to get back after you've done it and how many resources you might have to burn through to do it, I'm not sure they gain as much as this guy's hoping for.
I don't think there'll be any game for it at all other than a bit of fun, safe PvP.
I think a few people will have fun, but the majority probably won't.
Imagine like you're doing raids or you're doing bandos and then like right before you get the kill, you just kill the guy next to you.
So it'd be a bit like, it sounds almost like your pitch for Dead Man mode, the one about, what if you see this guy and he comes up to you and uses your training spot and then you want to kill him?
But without the risk.
That's when I first
Well,
pitched that.
so it wouldn't be like Dead Man mode, more like kind of Sick Man mode,
Always dead man mode.
I guess
But
you
you
could
don't lose anything and you don't get anything.
Resurrect Man mode.
you could
I
probably
don't know
just
about this
stand in Lumbridge and barrage there consistently against players with no risk.
And get a lot of XP.
Getting a lot of XP. That would be a negative to it, I guess, obviously.
That's a good enough reason to say no, to be honest. That is actually a good reason.
Yay, QA. Did it.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Fox says, can we get a new best in slot melee and ranged gloves? Barrow's gloves are like Void, being that they're best for all styles, and shouldn't be best in slot. I don't think Barrows are best in slot for mage. Well, he's just asking for melee and range, isn't he? Okay.
I'm all up for new equipment if people want it.
If they're not best in slot for either of the 3 combat styles, what are they best in slot for? What are they even used for at all then?
I know we had some requests for Void, Elite Void gloves, because we'd done Elite Void top and Elite Void bottoms, and, well, hands were a glaring omission. I forget really what we were planning there.
With Barrow's gloves, I think it's kind of, they're so iconic. They're like one of those things. It's like the fire cape. It's like you can't touch it. I think that's kind of what's going on right now with the backlash. Obviously, this is something we're not doing,
Yeah.
but
Barrows requires 175 quest points and like 80 quests. That's a fair point.
And also, accessing it via a patrol puts certain restrictions on who's getting there.
all right.
I'm happy as they are, but if there's some really good suggestions otherwise, then we'll take a look.
Next question. Harbor says, minigames in RS2 had a chance of a hybrid minigame armor reward. Could we possibly see this return? This consisted of Vanguard, Trickster, and Battle Mage armors.
Vanguard not related to the Vanguard in Raids, then.
So
Yeah,
what, it would be exclusive to the minigame, or is it a reward from the minigame used elsewhere, used anywhere?
It was only able to be used in like mini games. It was really weird. It was like every mini game had its own piece. So like I think the helmet came from Castle Wars, and like the body came from a different mini game. But
Okay.
it had like 0 stats outside of any mini game that didn't have PvP. But inside it was like something insane, like tier 95
Sure.
hybrid.
That's a
I think
pretty
we've got
long
the answer from
way
the chat
from
there.
anything we've seen them wanting before.
I'm surprised that was asked,
I think
to be
it
honest.
detracts from switching, and it might encourage boosting for certain pieces. I'm not too keen.
Hey, I found a question that I hadn't asked before.
Okay.
I'm going to
Yeah.
ask it.
Go on.
I'm just saying. Tildy says, during content development for the Inferno / World map, or any recent content release for that matter, are there any funny bugs or glitches that you guys have encountered, such as graphical unintended coding mishaps?
There was that awesome spinning head thing from the Inferno.
Spoiler alert.
Which I believe we have.
Ain't right.
Oh, poor Ryan. That was like his first piece of kit as well.
Incredible.
Why did you fix
He's got
that?
better.
Yeah,
Why did we fix that?
copyright
Feature
from The
everything.
Exorcist.
I want it back. We didn't get anything like that on the world map, although it'd be quite hard to get something like that on the world map, given it just looks like a map.
The map spins, and you have to try to click where you're going still.
Ooh.
All right. No says, can we finally get a decent 75 attack melee weapon for PKing that does not give us unwanted attack or defense experience? He's talking about something other than the God Sword. I think something faster.
It sounds like you might also want to restrict what modes it's got available on its side panel.
So he wants a whip that will only train strength.
Or something
Right.
with an aggressive slash and crush or something. That's it. No.
Yeah. Karasi, no, get out.
We're not doing
Leave.
Korosai.
Korozai, was that?
I would say Korosai.
Karasi.
Karasi, everyone says Karasi.
Yeah, what?
I know that's what they say, but that's
All
not
right.
what her name is.
Okay.
It's Korosai.
It's only got one S in it.
Can we straw poll Karasi for the memes? Just
No, this is what percentage do you think is going to get like even?
20?
73.
no. Now because I've said it's going to be low percentage, it's
Oh,
going
they're
to be
gonna put-
high.
Don't predict.
Yeah, okay, fair
Okay,
point.
never mind.
'Cause,
Don't bother.
Yeah, there's no chance.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, they're trying to tell us in the chat how to pronounce Karasi.
Yeah, that was my foolish
Karasai.
mistake.
It's not Karasai. I've seen at least 3 times.
Is the dev still here?
Yes, I think he is.
Okay, we'll settle this once and for all.
Okay. Suggestion: rerunnable quests along with speedrunning high scores. So the ability to go back and do a quest once you've already completed it and making it competitive.
We were quite keen on that as a thing we could possibly do on the no save worlds, where we just let you set yourself up from a menu for start point of whichever quest, perhaps with the required items pre-banked for you, why not? And automatic timer. Of course, the drawback of a no save world is that outputting from that to the high scores is not something we traditionally do. But then, since the high scores also don't show numbers going downwards as
Yes.
a ranking thing, I know you were in touch with the web team about that, but I don't think they really offer any dev time.
The difficult thing is the high scores, because the issue with the high scores is they count up. They've never been designed to count down. So we would need to redesign the high scores, and redesigning the high scores means redesigning the website, which is redesigning other things behind it. And it's got to plug into X system, Y system, and this system over here, and it still won't work. So a lot of redesign to make the high scores work. But we can do it, and we can, like Ash said, we could put it on a no save server, so you can go in there. We can add different quests at different times, so we can keep increasing the content you can do it with.
I think this was Kieran's idea originally, maybe.
I think
or
it's been
something like
kicking
that.
around for many years. This sounds, I think. But then we can do it, so you can go in there, and it could probably give you a official time that you can screenshot and share on social and all that sort of stuff. So it is something we can do. It's just the high scores is the problem.
With this, I feel like it'd be very interesting for like a week, and then it's like, okay, I've seen that quest 100 times, I've seen that one 100 times. There'd just be pressure to make new quests.
What we can do is in month 1, for example, if we were to do it, say, I don't know, November time, we could have 5 quests, and then December we could stick another 5 quests in it, or we could stick the timer on another piece of content, and then we can just keep adding to it over time. So there's always something new to do, new quests to try, and new things to try out in it. So it could actually be quite a good piece of content to give people a little fun thing to do throughout the month.
I'd like to see some things like Underground Pass, because that's totally RNG based.
Yeah.
How about the Soulbearer mini quest? Don't you have to start by finding a book?
Oh yeah, that book. Yeah, in Koren.
What about rewards? This is all instanced, I guess. You don't get rewards.
Yes,
obviously.
there'll be a no save world. No save world basically is you log in there, and it's the world which doesn't write to your normal account, so that won't matter.
So my concern there is like we've had quite a few really cool ideas for content, but unless they have a reward that is justifiable to say I'm going to stop gathering XP and making gold, it eventually just becomes dead content. So we'll have to think of something decent to offer with this.
I can't imagine too many people. There are obviously some people who love doing speed runs and will do it all day, every day. But I can't see the vast majority of people coming along and trying each thing more than once. But then I can see people going back to it as a different way of playing RuneScape for a couple of hours, which I think will be quite a cool thing to do.
Somebody's shouting for the sneak peek. Actually, are we ready for that?
I'm ready.
Cool. Let's head over to the sneak peek of the week.
Hello everyone. So Fossil Island, as you know, has been in development for a couple of months, and as you can see, we've worked really hard on it, and there's lots of content here. Yeah, indeed. So what I'm going to show you today is the underwater area, which is what I've been working on for the last few weeks. And obviously to go underwater, we need diving kit. And we're going to go and dive. Let's go diving.
We need to remove that chat, I think, when you right click.
So you guys, if you saw the design stream, you would have seen the very beginnings of this area where Mod West and I were mapping it out and starting the graphics. And we had the seaweed patches down already, and we had the mermaid and the leprechaun, but it really was quite empty. And now we have filled it in with lots of nice underwater things, and you can swim over these areas and look like you're actually swimming, which is quite nice. We have an oxygen system, as you can see at the top there, and you can take your helmet off.
What? Hold your breath.
You're holding your breath.
How do I get my air back up?
How do you get your air back up? Well, there's several ways you can get your air back up. One of them being is to catch a pufferfish.
What?
So-
What do you do with the pufferfish?
Well, the pufferfish obviously contains air, which does two things. One, it makes you lighter, and the other thing is it can restore some of your oxygen when you...
You like suck its air out of it, like you snug it. And
Yeah.
there.
You kiss the pufferfish. Let's put my helmet back on for now. So the underwater area is sort of divided into two, in that you've got this one side where you've got your farming and you've got the drift net fishing, which we're not going to show you much of at this point. You can just see some drift nets there. And there is a second half which is accessible through this boat. Oh, I'm going a bit slow. Shall we put our flippers on, and then we can swim a bit faster if I've done it right. Maybe not. There we go, right. So there's this mermaid here who is lounging on her throne. And to get through this ship, the only way through is this hole here. Can't go around it. but she won't let you through with a bowl on your head. So let's take the bowl off. Oh, I've still got a bowl. She doesn't like the helmet. And there's a story as to why she doesn't like the helmet. So we're going to have to get rid of this bowl. And there's a massive pile of bowls here. I'm sure Ronan will appreciate that. So now we can go through the hole. So this means that from now on you don't have your helmet with its oxygen. And it means that you have to find places to get oxygen. So we can see over here there's some bubbles rising. And if I go to this place, then it means that I won't get oxygen back, but it will stop it going down. So there's some little rest spots for you. There are other places. Let's go down this hole. Come on. Oh, I've been caught in a current. There's currents as well. There's all sorts of things around. So let's go down this hole. And we'll pop up somewhere. Oh, look. They look nasty. I think I'll stay away from them. That looks better. So there's all sorts of places that you can end up. Oh, look, we're back at the ship. There's a big bubble. Let's just hop over to it. So you can see as you stick your head in the big bubble, your oxygen then goes up. So you can gather some oxygen. There's also the pufferfish. So there's also these chests around. And if we head back quickly, I'll hop back to the mermaid. She actually has a little task for you. And you can help to gather tears, the tears of a mermaid. She might give you something back, but I'm not going to show you that. So we've now got hint arrow on our minimap. Nothing is balanced yet. We're still yet to do that. I've just finished off the mechanics to this, but I've not done any of the balancing yet. But we can go and find where that hint arrow is pointing to. And if we're lucky, this shortcut will take us somewhere near it. Aha! That's relatively near it. And as you're swimming around, there's various obstacles you have to pass. So that one was an agility obstacle. Oh, I'm going to skip on, because I can. There we go. So this one's a clam. And we can hopefully not get our hand stuck in the clam and get some mermaid's tears. So you can only get it from the one that's open, and it'll only stay open for a short period, and then you've got to get to the next one. Anyway, so that's that. And we have these bubbles, which are currents, and they will sweep you along if I've done my work properly. There we go. You can get out of them, so they don't trap you, but they just make things a little bit more interesting when you're trying to get to a specific place. We're thinking about potentially adding some agility to those and some other things like that. Is there anything other people want to see?
What's the home teleport animation?
Oh, you would. I haven't done that bit yet. This is going to look amusing. Where's my spellbook gone? There's my spellbook. Because it won't do anything. Because animations when you're swimming are disabled.
I would like to see recreate the scene from the James Bond film where they're fighting underwater.
You want to be fighting underwater. Well, the problem is, you see, you're swimming with your arms, and if you try and equip something, it does warn you.
Why don't you kill a creature, Maz?
And I've messed that bit up as well. Woohoo! Let's go into. I know. Do you want me to go and kill the lobstrosities?
Yes.
Kill a lobstrosity.
A lobstrosity. Okay.
Unbalanced at the
Let's
moment.
use a brine saber.
A use of the brine saber.
A use for the brine saber. Handy, isn't it?
Use a
So
special
when you're
attack.
wielding things,
Use the special attack.
special attack. Okay.
The only time you can ever use this special attack.
I'm not sure I've seen it.
Yes, it goes
That hit
bubbly.
What's that for the bronze sabers now?
I think I plugged in the drop tables. They should drop something. Nope, I lied.
No, you lied.
Some
What,
stuff.
what would they drop? Do
Oh, they did. See?
Oh, it's got
Yeah,
bones.
but they've dropped bones.
Yeah, it's meant to be a lobster. So that bit's not done.
Okay.
The other drops are done.
Okay. Apparently, this lobster has a skeleton.
Maybe it was carrying the bones.
Yeah, someone else's bones.
Mod Titans.
It can have 2 rolls on the herb table and 2 rolls on the seed tables as well. It's actually really good.
Yep, they dropped the seaweed seeds as well, which you can use to grow the seaweed.
How long can you spend underwater without getting oxygen?
Yet to be finalised balancing, but as you can see, we've already used about 40%, so a good few minutes. But there's also always these bubbles and things around, so I'm hoping that it won't be too inconvenient, but at the same time offer an interesting mechanic.
They do not drop magic seeds, no.
What about when they ask if stuff like
But something else could.
the Slayer helm can let you breathe underwater?
No.
Maybe if we ever make pufferfish a Slayer task.
Ooh. We don't exactly fight the pufferfish, but yeah, that would be interesting. Catch X pufferfish and kiss them.
So if you go down there in armour, does it weigh you down?
It does. So there's 2 things that stop you from actually swimming. As you can see at the moment, I'm walking around, and that's because I can't use my hands at the moment to swim. Whereas if I was to unequip this brine saber, I can swim again. But if I'm heavy, so if I don't know, there's
Give
nothing heavy
Naphtha.
around to pick up. It's triggered on picking up rather than actually, but I can do.
There's a loadout on the potato.
Is Naphtha particularly heavy?
Oh, it's the heaviest thing in game, but I've just realised that I don't remember the config name of it.
There's a loadout on the potato, or maybe the egg.
Oh yeah, the egg.
It
Or-
just says make me heavy.
Enoch_granite_medium.
With an H?
Yes, that's befits Enacra.
Granite.
Or Enacra. Medium, I think. Anything?
And then if I pick up something, that should then register. Maybe not. I know how I can do it. Let me show you. If I go back to the beginning. Oh, look, I
If only
died.
we had a not so
died.
useless rock.
So if I dive, yeah, dive anyway. So you can see I am heavy, therefore I'm standing on the seabed, even though I'm not wielding anything.
Can you run?
Sorry?
Can you run?
No, because you're underwater. However, if I get rid of this heavy granite, where's my shift click drop? I'm not got a shift click
Oh,
drop
toggled
on.
on. No.
Go away, granite. So you're trying to swim.
Efficient
There we
clicking.
go.
Yay.
We are now swimming, and because I have flippers on, I can swim fast.
Yay!
That's the slow swimming. There's the fast swimming.
Awesome.
Can I just say how cool that is?
It is.
Like, that's actually really.
I'm really happy with the animations that Mod West got me. So, yeah, what you've seen is not finished by any means. It's not polished. We're not finished balancing it. But, yeah, that is the
So what
underwater.
happens if you drown?
If you drown, I shall show you. So if I set my water oxygen to something really low.
Oh no!
Oh noes! Oh noes! I'm going to drown.
Oh,
It's a tension. Oh no.
Wait, you didn't even die.
I've been nice to them. I haven't killed them. I've just put them on
What?
the island.
Rip off.
You want them to die, do you?
Yes.
It's all right. They'll die in the lava mine.
Straw poll it. Should they die and lose their stuff?
Or can you only collect the stuff when you're doing the fishing mini game? The fishing trawler.
Trawler, you can find your stuff from underwater.
You have to do a game of trawler in order to get your stuff back.
Or
Yeah,
someone
I'm
else
sure
might
that would
find
pass
it.
a poll.
Yes.
We could do that.
Yeah, they want death. They want blood.
They want death. Okay.
See, I represent the voice of the community.
And it
Well,
says
we can give them
tomato.
death.
Maz was just being nice.
I was being nice, but we can give you death.
Nice.
Don't I know it?
So that's about it from Fossil Island. I shall hand you back to the couch.
That's really quite hard to program most of what she's doing there, I should mention.
That swimming stuff, the fact that it knows when your flippers are on and you're in the area to allow you to run and stuff, that's actually,
We're actually stop pointing
Specialist
that.
code
Wow.
she's doing there.
yes.
We're going to try our best to grab any Fossil Island related questions. When's the next time you think they might be able to get another sneak peek?
Probably 2 to 3 weeks after Kieran comes back.
Okay. So we'll try to gather some questions in the meantime. Alternatively, they can just tweet at JackXMaz maybe if you get a minute.
Absolutely.
Cool. There you go, guys. Moving on to the next question then. Hell says, change text color of quests that you have the requirements for.
We need a fair bit of metadata sticking into the client so that it knows which they all are and can listen for it. But yeah, we like the idea. It's just rather a lot of data entry that we could spend a fairly long time doing, and there's always been other things to be doing instead. So
How would it work
Yeah.
with, so say with Regicide, the requirement to start that is completing Biohazard, but the requirement to finish it is 56 agility, I believe 56
Yeah.
agility.
I generally go with the rule of the requirement to start the quest rather than the requirement to finish it, although I'm sure
Sure.
somebody will be seeing the word toggle coming along at some point.
Yeah, I imagine so.
We've got the results of that straw poll. Should you die and lose items if you run out of oxygen underwater? 78% saying yes.
Wow, they really want to die, don't they?
Well, just those players who vote yes, we'll do it just for those guys. That's not going to happen.
Tempting.
Azaria says, white dragons with new drop, baby, normal, brutal, and queen white dragons found in a dungeon under Falador Castle with a quest requirement. Rare drop being the dragon horn, which can be used on Fremenic helms to gain bonuses.
Why under Falador? Was
Quite
there-
nice.
It was on an
Oh,
image.
right,
And
Matt would know.
I think, I mean, it all boils down to new content and new rewards, doesn't it? If the rewards are good enough and what those bonuses are, why Fremenic?
That's what I was wondering.
Because that's
I've seen
been an
White Dragon
idea for a
suggested
while.
for years now. I remember going on the forums when I first started playing,
Yeah.
like 2004. White
What?
Dragons always.
Well, also in 2013, when Dan was with us, he was experimenting with
Oh, I
a
remember
white
that.
dragon, and I think that was up in the Fremenic area somewhere. around there.
I see white dragons being in snowy areas and to the north where the Fremenics hang out. Seems a better location than the White Knight Castle, but
You know, third age is
Sort of
made
makes
out of
sense.
white dragon hide.
Yeah.
Fun fact. There you go. So it drops third age. I'm kidding. Don't worry.
Frosties, they're great.
yeah. Yeah, no, I think a nice piece of content up in the Fremenic area with white dragons and something to reward or something to improve the Fremenic items. So I do like how the Fremenic stuff looks, and
Yeah.
they're just not usable for anything, obviously.
The graphic actually looked decent too. Mind you, it probably took 2 minutes in paint. He just took the current like Berserker helmet, etc., and just made them like a glowing kind of effect on the horns. Simplistic, looked nice.
Yeah, so I think that's a good thing to do. All boils down to the stats of those items and how that works, which is what all this stuff always boils down to.
If we were to attach a really great quest to this could be some really cool content.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice comment in the chat. We've got lava dragons, so why not snow dragons?
The frost dragons.
Yeah. Frost dragons.
Also, like the combo runes, we've got lava dragons, so why not mud dragons or a steam dragon or something?
Mist
So
dragon.
I like the idea of steam dragons. Mist
What?
dragons are a thing they have in Chinese folklore.
Like the cow dragon,
Did you say cow dragon?
How about a dragon? No?
Arrow.
I found that funny, whatever.
The chat seemed to like the idea of it generally. I mean, aside from all the Skyrim and Yu-Gi-Oh references, the chat seemed quite on
It's
board.
time to did it deal.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Yeah.
Dragons are cool, especially frost ones.
Could be an ice dragon.
Yep.
It's called Orichalcum Dragon, or for the record, so they'd be called Orichalcum Dragons.
Is that the legendary mineral found on Atlantis?
Potentially. It's probably what it's named after. Adamantite, runite, and mithril, and then quartz as...
Amethyst.
Yeah, amethyst now, that's the one.
Amethyst.
Next question.
Yeah, moving on.
let's move on.
Yeah, I think we killed that
Here we
one.
go. Simon says, bank and Grant Exchange interface accessibility from same UI window. So in his image, he was using the Grant Exchange. There was a tiny little button to the left that said switch back to the bank.
You see, I like
That was
that.
it.
I think that makes using the Grand Exchange much easier and nicer. I'm sure there's going to be technical issues surrounding it.
I think it's just easy-scape.
But
Not
to
that
be
I
fair-
disagree. Personally,
Yeah.
I would like this. I'm
To
just
be-
saying I think that's the
I
argument.
think using your bank and Grand Exchange interface easy isn't much of a drama. I think maybe making it easier to get XP is much more of a drama, but pointless swapping between interfaces which doesn't increase any XP. I think we
That's,
can make
that's
that as easy
proper
as
quality of
possible.
life stuff,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Obviously, we're only talking about the banks at the Grand Exchange, presumably.
Yeah.
Because that would be ridiculous anywhere else, but...
You know, I've been getting a lot of requests lately for Grand Exchange outlets elsewhere. I mean, I'm sticking to the answer which, back in 2015 when we were doing the Grand Exchange, the players were pretty darn clear they wanted the social hub, the one social hub that they remember from the old days, and that's what we gave them. But yet some people seem to be feeling differently increasingly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a very big number, though.
Well, if we wanted to make it really easy scape, you would have a banker you could summon and a Grand Exchange clerk you could summon.
Oh, pet
That's
banker.
where you are.
Do you know
pet,
what?
Pet banker, yeah.
The amount of players who still don't know you can look stuff up and their prices on the Grant Exchange from anywhere in the game. A lot of people still don't know that.
Oh, yeah, that's
Through the
true.
price checker. Anyways. Funny says, add fairy rings to the world map. So hovering over a fairy ring on the map will have a little pop-up with the code.
That'd be nice.
Assuming you've actually unlocked that one, right?
Most of the suggestions we've seen for that one say that it would be only the ones you unlocked.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
For what it's worth, it would mean that the information would be available inside the client, which people would be able to try and read out, regardless of whether they'd unlocked it. It's not like it is at the moment with our fairy ring log, where it does not send the information to your client. So for any fairy ring we add in future, the code will become visible immediately to anyone who goes poking through our client, whereas at the moment they genuinely can't find out for themselves except through trial and error.
Is that too big of an issue, though? I mean, otherwise it's a 5-second Google search, right? But,
Not for the first person, it ain't.
okay, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, we don't need to worry about puzzles. We could, in fact, replace the fairy ring codes with just a list of destinations that is automatically populated, so you don't even have to discover them. On the other hand, sometimes in these fantasy games, we do have puzzles without a toggle to get rid of them again. Mostly in quests, admittedly.
All right, next question. Alex says, can you upgrade the bolt pouch to hold 16k bolts per slot like the rune pouch?
So the ammo pouch has, I think, is it 4 slots and then also
Yep.
the slot what you're using?
Yep.
I feel as though if we lowered the amount of slots in there, we could do it a lot easier without wasting as much space, or we could just give them more.
You know, that code is pretty old. The dev
Yeah.
did pretty darn well considering what they were dealing with back then. But we do have actually more engine features available to us today than when that was made. With some heavy rewriting, we could get the code a lot more easy to maintain for a start, and allocate more data space for bigger numbers, because why wouldn't we? And also, you know, these days we can do drag and drop rearranging of stuff, which would mean that you could, you know, swap what you've got equipped by just dragging it between the 4 slots you described and the ammo place.
That was written originally with the Vault back in 2006 when we didn't have iScript or anything like that.
yeah, Dev couldn't have done it then.
Yeah, the reason that I mentioned reducing space wasn't because it needs to have its space reduced, but rather it's very old and you'd want to save as much bit space as possible, which is why I think the room pouch has 3 slots mainly for that limiting.
No, that's about how many inventory spaces we were willing to let players save. We'd throw more memory at it if we wanted to. We just didn't want to save more than 2 slots.
We say what do we remember in the variables? You remember the rune type and
The
up
type
to
and
the number.
quantity, which is, I forget what the cap is, but it could have been higher. On the other hand, we didn't want to get in a situation where people managed to lose 3 max stacks of runes simultaneously, all in one item. But that was also the reason we didn't let people equip the rune pouch to count as the runes while it was equipped. We could have done actually very easily indeed. And then we thought we've just saved them some inventory slots. We should probably not take it a step further at the same time via feature creep. But we would be open to increasing the capacity if it didn't get too good.
Mm-hmm. I think this is another one that commonly has a lot of people in the chat saying, wait, that's a thing? Yeah, there is a pouch that can hold different types of bolts. The reason why you don't know about it or don't use it is because it's currently limited to, like 100 of each type or something?
255, I think.
255.
There you go. Often not enough for whatever you want to do. But I think if we did allow that to hold upwards of 5k, 10k, etc., whatever we can do, that would definitely be one of the more used pieces of content in the game.
Plus,
at least more than it is now.
I don't recall, perhaps Matt will remember, does it shut when you get attacked? Because if it does, we could make it not. And then you'd be able to use it during combat maybe more fluently. Especially if you could then drag between the slots.
For those asking how you get it, if you go and buy it, I think it's in the dwarf shop down in
Consortium?
The fishing contest tunnel?
possibly, yes.
I thought you bought it from the bloke in the Consortium in Keldgrim.
Oh, it could be that one as well. I may have got more than one.
I know it was a dwarf thing.
Yes.
Google it. There you go.
Right.
I think it's the ice mount, the White Wolf Mountain tunnel, but I could be wrong about that.
I think I'm thinking with Maz, it might be both.
We answer more questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the new moving on. All right. We have a couple of things we wanted to say before we end the Q&A, and we are coming to that time. We've got plenty of questions, which will probably be saved for next week.
Cheers, Keldgrim. Well done.
Anyways, one thing I wanted to mention is you will very soon find out the list of streamers and content creators you'll get to meet at RuneFest. Getting around to sending out their invites, so we've got a whole bunch of people, like 25 to 30 people. So chances are, if you've enjoyed somebody's stream, they might be at RuneFest. Looking forward to that. We'll get an autograph booth up and all that stuff.
Chances are that if you've enjoyed somebody's stream, they might be at RuneFest.
Somebody's RuneScape stream, sure.
That's
Whatever.
covering your yourself there a bit.
Such a troll, Matt. Such a Twitch troll. Also, we want to talk about the PvP Championship.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So we've got some kind of dates for applications in mind. So the week beginning 3rd of July, we're going to start opening applications. And then the week commencing the 24th of July, we're thinking about closing applications, getting invitations sent out. So then you'll have, I think, just over 3 weeks of preparation so you can get yourself galvanized and all ready. We don't have a finalized format just yet, but what we're thinking is we expect the team name. We expect a member list, allowing for some substitutions, the number yet to be decided. We'd like to have a logo to represent you, a short bio, maybe a description of why you should be allowed to compete, a bit of history, a motto would be quite nice, and then some footage. If you have any previous footage from you competing, whether a friendly or competitive war, that'd be nice to include as well.
Yeah. So definitely the 3 necessities you won't be able to participate without essentially are the team name, obviously, member list with backups,
Yep.
And the logo. Others that would definitely help. The chance of you getting to participate, as Modspear was just saying, footage, stuff like notable victories, when you were created, and all that stuff.
Obviously, ensure logos are
Good.
We'll send-
appropriate.
Yeah, appropriate, and we'll send out the requirements too in terms of pixel size and format as well. We can't yet totally confirm the date of it, but we're thinking the 2nd weekend of August. That's what we have in mind.
Yep. For those wondering who haven't heard of this is the
Oh, that's tempting fate.
big championship we're running mid-August, hopefully. That's including 1v1s, 5v5s, and 20 versus 20s with a 10K prize for each of those categories. It'll be very exciting. We'll be streaming it all. You won't want to miss it. And
Anybody hear what
that
Chris said?
about
Or we're just
concludes
No, we're all watching. We're all watching. Yeah. Sorry, what did you say again, Chris?
Mug's empty, by the way.
I'm not repeating. They can go back. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Cool.
So
All
come
right.
to Runefest, take part in the PvP championship.
Dead Man blog coming tomorrow. That's a thing.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.
Bye bye.